All right, guys, we are back. Finally, I can at least somewhat get part of the next, well, part 7, say. Anyway, I'm just going to show you guys kind of what we're doing as far as, I'm pretty sure this is going to probably be the permanent layout because I actually like it. And I've watched tons, and I mean tons of it. Courtney could probably honestly tell you how many. She gets annoyed at this point with how many I'm watching. So, I don't know if you guys can tell. This is where the master bedroom technically is, this whole area. So, I'm pretty sure it's a full-size bed that can fit back here. She wants to go to a queen, but we're going to, with the sizing that I've already done right now, basically she wants to turn the bed the other direction. So she wants to run the bed basically, I don't know if you guys can tell, the length of the bus. Like, so if you're going down the hallway, it's basically, this way. Yeah. So doing that, we're going to lose obviously a little bit of space, not a lot. It's just, we're actually going to gain some space in different areas. There's a horsefly somewhere. Nope, that's a wasp. Why do I keep dealing with bugs? Not a big bug guy. Anyway, we're going to ignore that one just because I ain't going to fuck with no wasp. So, we're going to run the bed the other way, not, parallel, right? Not window to window. I hope this makes sense. So, rear to front, yes. So, we're going to do that, and then we'll have like a little walkway on the side that we'll figure out what to do with that. That I'm not 100% sure. So doing that, we'll actually be able to still have storage under the mattress also. I don't know if you can tell, the floor is actually going to get ripped up too. So we're going to do, if anybody knows, let me know if the fuel tank, I've not crawled underneath this thing yet besides the day of the inspection. So if you know if that's the access panel for like the fuel pump, let me know. So when the floor is redone, obviously that's when we'll do the whole bed transition the other way. So we'll actually be able to put storage. That's where I was going with that. We'll be able to put storage underneath the bed still. So I don't know how I want to do that yet. If I want to keep it is hot. If we want to continue with how it is, because it just flips up on some air suspension rods like you would do on like a car trunk or something. I forget the name of them, but they're hydraulic arms, same thing. That dude, I hear that wasp just chirping above my head. So where was I going? Oh, so the bathroom, I'll flip you around so you guys actually see. So the bathroom is going to stay where it is. The emergency exit door, which is the entire point. Might have to wait for this damn helicopter to come by. So that's the emergency door. That was the composting toilet. There used to be just a closet here in this area. That's temporary. That's not going to be right there exactly. That was just the existing wall that was there, but we're going to put the toilet up on the ledge, I think. If not, that's a whole, like, I know it's going here. That's all I can tell you guys right now. How that's going to happen, I don't know. But I guess while I got you flipped around, I can show you. So the hallway will be on this side, and then the bed will run the other direction from front to rear. And then this closet, which has all this junk in it still, but that's going to be gone. The shower, which is used as storage right now, she's going to try to rip this all out today if she can get out here, because she's on her way home from work right now. So as soon as she gets here, she's going to start ripping out the shower. I'm probably going to have to kind of watch her, because there's the water lines there. She can't be messing them up too bad, because I don't know It should just be on its own separate thing, obviously, from the kitchen. I don't see why it wouldn't, but I obviously don't want any more issues than what we already have to deal with. And also the flooring, I don't know if I mentioned it in the last trail walking video. I don't know what the heck you want to call those, to be honest. It's me thinking I need to make content without the bus. So the flooring, I can kind of show you where it's an issue. So I'll flip you back around. This whole area, I put a couple of screws in it, just trying to tie in, because this is going to be like a drop-in kind of, because I'm going to put a 12 volt outlet on that. This is all 12 volt too, by the way. So it's going to be like a storage compartment with just a lid that folds up and down. I want to make that as deep as possible. So I was trying to, make some sort of, mounting point for that, and I couldn't drill into the subfloor. So that is one spot, and I don't know if you guys can tell without me falling. I guess I'll try to go to the front or the rear. So if you look at the floor, and I don't expect it to be perfect. So if you look at the floor, you probably can't really tell from back here. You really need the light to go on it, but it's wavy. So I don't think a little bit is too bad. But none would be ideal. I don't know what's underneath this floor, to be honest. So I would assume it's that padded. Actually, you know what? I can tell you. So I don't know if they. Let's see. So yeah, that could be the source of what they did. So they use. I'll just flip you back around again. So they have obviously padding on underneath the floor, but they also added, I'm assuming that's some sort of moisture barrier. I don't really know if that was needed. I'm not sure with how other people are doing their builds with their floor. I just know, without ripping that up yet, I don't know what's underneath that either. But see, I don't know if they even did it the right way. Yeah. So what I've learned through watching other videos is a lot of people actually raise their floor, but I don't know if that's if they do the roof raises. If they do the roof raises, that could be why they do it, because you technically lose 2 inches of the floor height, or the height goes up. Because if you do, so it'd be here. You would basically take, I think these are 2x2s, I think, and lay these on the floor, and then you would do your 1 inch, I guess, if I can find it. I don't think we're gonna do that, to be honest. So I don't know. Maybe that's why they. I don't know. I don't plan on doing a roof raise, so maybe that's. I don't know. I need to look more into that. We haven't obviously ripped the floor up to see how bad it is either, so I don't know how much of that plywood needs to be fixed. I would probably preferably just want to redo it, because it would only be 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 sheets. I guess it is. Some of that three-quarter shit is pretty pricey. It's about $40 to $50 a sheet. So I mean, but at the same time, if it's mentally, if I know it's new, and if something was to happen, because right now underneath this vanity, which I just found this out the other day too, it was leaking existing water that was in the P-trap. So the seals on the actual plumbing underneath the sink weren't tight. And the only reason I know that is because Courtney was pouring water down the drain to try to get the smell out of the gray tank. Other than that, bathroom by the emergency door, relocate the bed, delete this closet, get rid of the shower from this side, and as far as this is the only part that might change. So this area, shower, and then this closet, and this is the passenger side of the bus, by the way. So this is going to be theoretically the bunk beds. Like this will be that side. That's if we don't find a better option. But I've seen a lot of people do bunk beds, and they're fairly easy to build. And then the cabinets is going to be refrigerators, probably going to be converted, but not converted. It's this refrigerator is probably not going to be the one that we stick in here. I would like to go to a 12 volt, and that way it's always on the solar and always running. So basically, right now the way it's set up is the solar has to be, or no, not the solar. The 120 always has to be on for it to work. So I don't really want to do that all the time, because that means you're just draining your solar off just the refrigerator on a 120. Right? I think that'd be the only, minus your outlets, and I guess if you have lights or anything that's going at the same time when you, because right now it doesn't run. This is so hard to explain, to be honest, because there's a 12 volt system and then there's your 120, but you can still control your lights on your 12 volt. So you have 12 volt lights that don't take no power whatsoever, unless you probably have all of them on and they're just on 24/7. But anyway, guys, I feel like I'm rambling. Like, I feel like I haven't been in the groove of things. This rain's got me all flabbergasted, bro. But I will be back when I get some of this ripped out, and then when Courtney gets here, we're going to have her rip out the shower. Hopefully. So hopefully the next time that you see me, something will be different in this area. Alright, guys. We'll be back. I lied. So, we're going to just show you what I'm doing. I'm just going to speed it up like I usually do. I don't know if anybody really cares to watch it, but I'm going to put it in there so you don't actually just magically see it gone. Isn't that what other YouTubers do? Pretty sure. Alright, well that wasn't too bad, but definitely not the lightest thing in the world. Forgot how I haven't lifted a 3/4 piece of plywood in a minute. Okay, sorry guys, I had a phone call. So I'm sitting here I'm doing these 2x2s. I think that's what they are. I don't know. I feel judgmental. I feel the judgment coming on to me every time I say the wrong size. So now that I'm looking at it, I think we might be able to run the tank the other way and then free up a lot of the storage this direction. I don't know. Just a thought. And it would literally be no longer than or the width of the bed. I don't know. Trial and error, man. I don't know. We'll see what it looks like. All right, guys. So as you can tell, we didn't do the bathroom rip out and any of that. I just did the bed and the little counter cubby hole thing over there, which it wasn't even doing. It was just, dude, I don't even know. Like they added so much random stuff that they could have saved room to put more cupboards or storage areas and stuff like that. But to each their own, I guess. But yeah, we didn't do the bathroom. We didn't really get further than what you've already just seen in this last segment there. But yeah, it was super humid, and she really wasn't feeling it. And even after I did all that, I really was pretty soaked myself, so I really was about done. Like, if you live in Missouri, you just know it's something you just eventually, you got to grow into it every summer. It's just like the beginning's terrible, and then eventually you just work yourself into it. It's just like, yep, it is what it is. You're completely soaked. That's just how Missouri works. But yeah, guys, this is probably going to be, I'm not even going to name it part 7. I'm going to probably just stop naming parts at this point, because it's going to be a very long journey before we're done, because I keep taking stuff out and ADHD building and fun stuff like that. I just keep changing it as we go. So hopefully the layout is solid this time around. So I think we're going to go with that. Had to wait for the truck. I don't have my microphone to help me out here. But yeah, that's basically it. I didn't do much. It's another step further to eventually getting another step closer to something done. So if you look at it that way, I guess it's not that bad. But anyway, guys, have a good day. Peace out.